Hello? Okay. Shabbat Shalom and welcome, everybody. It's so nice to see so many people here, and welcome to our friends from Montini High School. And we have a friend from College of DuPage here tonight also visiting. I'm Rachel Wood, and I will be leading services tonight. And a lot of my students who are preparing for B'nai Mitzvah right now are going to help me out and participate in services tonight. So it should be a fun evening. We'll open tonight by singing Hine Ma Tov on page 10.
I'm curious, Carol, and nobody's helping me. So please help me. I need a lot of help. Hey, my toe, my nahi, hey, my toe, my nahi, hey, my toe, my nahi.
How good it is, how sweet it is. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem. Matov, Umanai, Shabbat Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umanai, Shabbat Gam Yachad. I now invite Sharon Clark to the bema to light our candles. The blessings are found on page 2. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah. Oh, you got it? Okay, good. Amen. We will continue with Lachado D, and when we get to the last phrase, we rise and face the doors of the sanctuary. Lakrak, lakrakala, panei, panei, Shabbat, nekabela. Lacha, lachado di, lakrat, lakrat, la, la. Panei, Shabbat, Shabbat, nekabela, la, la, la. Lachado di, lakrat, lakala. Panei, Shabbat, nekabela. Lachado di, lakrat, lakrat, Shabbat. Shabbat nekabela, Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad, Yishmi'anu el amel echad, Nai echad u'shamo echad, L'shem tiferet l'idlita la 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 l'chadot l'chakala, Shabbat nekabela, L'chadot Shalom, alter et chala, gam bisumcha, uvtsohala, tochemune, am sigula, boi chala, boi chala, lachadoti, lakrat kakracha, Panei Shabbat nekabela, Lachado di l'krat remain standing for the Baruch Hu on page 28. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai. Hamivorach. Baruch Adonai. Hamivorach. Hamivorach. Leolam vaed. Hamivorach. Hamivorach. Leolam vaed. Please be seated. And I'd like to invite Matthew to the bima to lead us in the reading of the Ma'ariv on page 30.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokma poteh she'arim u'mitfuna meshane itim u'mahaliv et hazmanim u'msader et hakohavim b'misrotehem b'kir kirtzono b'orei yom v'layla Golel or mipnei Oshe, Behoshe mipnei or, Avir yom umevi lala, Avdil ben yom uve lala, Adonai tzevaot shemo. El hai v'kayam, Tami timlo aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv aravim.
Thank you. I now invite Anya to come forward to lead us in the reading on page 32, starting with the English in the middle of the page.
Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Please rise for the Shema on page 34. Please be seated, and I invite Colin to come forward to lead us in the reading of the Via Hafta on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל נאותיך והיו ניצבך, היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, ושבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
I now invite Calvin to come forward to lead us in the reading of the English at the top of page 39.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
We'll continue with Micha Mocha on page 40. Oops. We'll continue at the top of page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. And we'll continue with V'shamru on page 44.
So
now continue with the tefillah section of our service, and I invite Lexi and Andy to please come up to lead us, starting on page 46. Please rise.
Adonai, Sefer Tifta, Ufia Gitehilateha. Adonai, Sefer Tifta, Ufia Gitehilateha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, v'Koneh HaKol, v'Zoher Hastiavot v'Imahot, u'Mevi Gula l'Ifleihem, L'man Shemo b'Achava, Melech Ozer u'Mashiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Nagei Am Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Meitim atah v'Hoshia, Mashiv harav Hamorei Hashem, Mechakel Chaim behesed, Mechaye Meitim barachavim amin, Somer noflim v'rochei holim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Mishenei afar, Mihamo kaba'al gevuro, Umidom elach, Melenim umechayem, Umasmir Yeshua, Ne'eman atah l'chayot meitim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hameitim. Kadoshim kadosh, U'Kedoshim b'chol yom v'Baruch ha'selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
You may be seated. We'll continue at the top of page 55, and I invite Genevieve to come up. We'll read this responsively.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. All who find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. May this day fulfill its promise.
Baruch
Atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
I now invite, we'll turn to page, sorry about that. I have to look at my notes here. We'll continue on page 58. Modim anachnu lach she'atah hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu le'olam va'ed. Tzur hayenu magen yishenu atah hu l'dor v'dor. And I now invite Ari to come forward to lead us in the reading on page 59.
When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? we mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us our dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'chaneh lehodot.
We'll continue with Shalom Rav on page 60.
Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amah. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amah. Tassim le'olam. Tassim le'olam. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amah. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amah. Tassim le'olam. Tassim le'olam. Ki ata melech, melech Adon. Ki ata melech, Adon HaShalom. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amah. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amah. Tassim le'olam. Tassim le'olam. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל. בכל עת ובכל שעה לשלומך. שלום רב ישראל עמך. שלום רב ישראל עמך. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amah. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael Amah. Shalom Rabbi Yisrael.
We'll continue with a moment of individual prayer.
Oh, say shalom. Biromah. Oh, say shalom. Biromah. Yaseh, Yaseh, Yaseh shalom. Yaseh, Yaseh, Yaseh shalom. Yaseh, Yaseh, Yaseh shalom. Hallelujah. May the one make peace, bring peace down, make peace down. May the one make peace, bring peace down, make peace down. May the one make peace, bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one make peace, bring peace down, bring peace down.
We'll now continue with Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for the reading of the Torah. Will the congregation please rise? And 246, in this scroll is a secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Everybody, its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gifts to all who treasure it. You may be seated. The next 2 weeks' Torah portions are not the most pleasant in the Torah. Tonight we read from Parashat Tazria, and the next week from the portion Metzorah. These portions deal with issues of purity, ritual purity, and impurity, starting with ritual impurity after childbirth. They also examine the rituals associated when a person has a skin disease, such at the time of the Torah, leprosy. Later we will discuss these issues in more depth. Usually the Torah portion is paired with next week's portion, Metzorah, but since this is a Jewish leap year, they are separate. Ya'amod, Ruth bat Daniel.
Baruch Adonai Hamvara.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. I forgot to look for the page in the Chumash, the maroon books underneath your seat, but I'm reading right from the beginning of the portion Tazria. What was it? 6. Thank you very much. Okay. Amen. V'yadaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Daber el bnei Yisrael lemor. Isha ki Tazria v'yalda zachor v'tam'a shivat yamim ki me nidatat dota titma uvayom hashmini Yimo basar orlato, ushloshim yom, ushloshet yamim, teshev bidmei tahora, becho, kadosh lo tiga, ve'el hamikdash lo tavi, ad malot yemei tahora, ve'im nikve, tailech, v'tam ashivim, kanidata, V'sheshet yom, v'sheshet yamim, teshev al demei tahora. Uvmalot yemei tahora. Lavein o levat, tavi, kavesh ben shano laola. Uvein yonah o tar lachatat, el petach o hel moed al hakohen.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayei olam nata b'toheinu. Baruch Ata Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. We now think of those who are ill and in need of healing. We think tonight of Rachel Batzio, Barbara Ben-Nezra, Beverly White, Barry Fidlow, Joel Bernstein, Jeff Liebold, Leanne Deere, and Michael Popper, and all who suffer whom we know not by name. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham, Yitzhak v'Yaakov, v'Imotenu, Sarah Rivka, Rachel v'Leah, Hu Yivarech v'Yirpeh et Kol Hole Yisrael, v'Yishlach lahem bimheira, Refuat Shlema, Refuat Haguf, V'nomar, Amen. May God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, and Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all who are stricken. May the Holy One of Praise mercifully restore them to health and to vigor. May God grant them health of body, health of spirit, and of mind, and let us say, Amen. We will continue with Mishaberach on page 252. May the source of strength, who a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Yamo David Gershon ben Abraham Vasara, Ya'amod al Avraham ben Dorn. Please rise as we return the Torah to the ark. Vizot HaTorah Asher Sam Moshe Livnei B'nei Yisroel Al Pi Adonai Biyad Moshe. We will continue with the prayer for our congregation on page 258. You may be seated, and that will be led by David.
O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit, and let us say, Amen.
And the prayer for Israel will be led by Eric.
O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shielded beneath the wings of your love, spread over the canopy of your peace. Send your light and your truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land of fullness, of joy, in all who dwell there. I'd like to say a little bit about the state of Israel right now. And we wish love and peace to all the Palestinians and Israeli people, to hope that they can find common ground and return to loving one another like they did before the war. With that said, Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We will now rise to return the Torah to the ark. Yeah. I'm just going to say a little bit about tonight's Torah portion, a little bit more than what I said before. I'm not a rabbi, I don't give good sermons, and I'm probably very nervous about doing this, but we'll see how it goes. So as I said earlier, this week's Torah portion is Tazria, and it's one of those unpleasant portions that we read. It discusses a variety of skin diseases full of scaly skin, sprouting sores, and breakouts of biblical proportions. These we refer to as tzarat. The portion begins with the discussion of purification after childbirth, and also it talks about circumcision of a baby boy 8 days after birth. As I was studying this week's portion, I was intrigued about the many associations of tzarat, the skin impurities, to lashon hara, speaking bad of someone, as we know in today's world as gossip. I asked myself, what is this relationship? Someone who was afflicted with a skin disease did not have the option of going to a dermatologist at the time of the Torah, but instead needed to go to the high priest, or what we would now call the rabbi. Consider the embarrassment of taking this problem to the rabbi. The high priest would determine the seriousness of the skin disease and determine the treatment. Those with very severe cases were sent out of the camp in order to be in isolation. Their heads were often shaved and clothing was torn. Imagine the sense of humiliation, the sense of shame. The rabbis go on to explain that tzarat was not just a rash, but a punishment for gossip. The rash was not contagious and what required the isolation, but the gossip was. Both are considered treatable conditions. One goes off for a while, it is a lonely experience. After a purification ritual, the person is allowed to come back to the community. It is assumed that the person is back with both their skin and their conscience cleared. There is a time and a place for speaking about others. It's okay to speak about another person when the information will be used to bring about justice or help right a wrong. The rabbi said some powerful things about lashon hara, though. They said that lashon hara is actually worse than the 3 cardinal sins of idolatry, adultery, and bloodshed, all combined. It harms 3 people, the one who speaks it, the one it is spoken about, and the one who listens to it. We all know the story of Joseph at the beginning of time, and it began when he spoke negatively about some of his brothers, and their relationship turned bitter. The entire generation that left Egypt was not allowed to enter the promised land because they had spoken badly about it. The sages said that one who speaks lashon hara is likely someone who does not necessarily believe in God. In next week's portion, Metzorah, we are told, Kol yemei asher hanega bo yitma tameh hu badad yoshev michutz lemachaneh moshavo. The person shall be impure as long as the disease is present. Being impure, that person shall dwell apart in a dwelling outside of the camp. In our day, now the age of social media, it has become a place overwhelmingly full of hurtful and hateful speech, and we definitely need the laws of lashon hara more than ever. In about 10 days, we will start to begin Passover. We'll celebrate Passover. And we'll be telling stories, and the stories we tell when reading the Haggadah can remind us of how we can use our mouths to teach about freedom and good things. The words we say and discuss give us the opportunity to help people, especially ourselves, to step out of the slavery of gossip and instead embrace the real freedom of acting with consciousness and integrity. Wouldn't it be transforming if we responded to the impure voices of our age with compassion, love, and help, rather than with condemnation and distance? Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Pat Gibbs with some announcements on behalf of the board. Welcome to our guests from Montini Catholic High School. And thank you to Erica, our usher, our greeter, and our security team. Thank you, Rachel, for leading services, and Terry for the beautiful music. There's no Torah study tomorrow, no bagel breakfast or religious school this Sunday due to the retreat. Registration for our congregational second night Passover Seder closes this Monday. Make sure to have your seat Save your seat at mycec.org/Seder. Pack your passport and get ready to embark on an unforgettable journey at CEC's Around the World Spring Prom fundraiser. Enjoy hors d'oeuvres from around the globe, DJ and dancing, balloon pop tables, raffle, and live auction, all to support CEC. Register online at mycec.org/prom. For more information on upcoming events, check out our weekly happenings email. Please join us after services for a wonderful Oneg. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you.
We will begin our closing prayers with the Aleinu, and I invite Nix to the Bema to open the ark for us, and that is on page 282. Please rise. Aleinu v'shabeh adon hakol, latei v'dula liotzer reishit, shalom koye haratzon, v'lo samanu k'mishbechot adama, shelo sam helkeinu kadem, v'goraleinu kechol hamonam. You may be seated. We'll continue on page 285. I'm sorry, wrong page. On page 287, may we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. Nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth and our own loved ones, those whom our friends and our neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. This week, we remember Robert Leffert, father of Kim Leffert, Adele Nadler, mother of Lila Washarsky, Michael Williams, brother of Mitchell Williams, Martin Charles Wurtzman, father of David Wurtzman, Anne Feiss, mother of Ron Weininger, Ida Much, grandmother of Jeffrey Roseman, Betty M. Freed, mother of Richard Freed, James Deal, father of Susan Wisniewski, Leslie Markwell, father of Kenneth Markwell, David Joseph Roseby, father of Sarai Roseby, Irving Farber, father of Howard Farber, Greta Zunder, aunt of Stephen Capp, Mary Viano, mother of John Viano, Henry Cohn, father of Barbara Fidlow, Harriet Levy, cousin of Barbara Turner, Gary Gardner, husband of Judy Gardner, Bill Morrill, grandfather of Jeremy Miller, Augustine Bona, father of Sharon Beiersdorf, Stanley Cutler, father of Suzanne Saltzman, Millie Feinstein, wife of Alan Feinstein, William Lowe, father of Margaret Lowe, Elliot Harrop, father of Stephen Harrop, Steve Harris, brother-in-law of Florence Herbach, uncle of Alan Herbach, Zach Leventon, nephew of Wendy Peck and Deborah Cox, Darrell Kahn, son of Kathleen Green, Lawrence Nymark, husband of Carol Nymark, Francis Eisenson, and Frank Salzberg. We also mourn the recent passing of Richard Robin, brother of Bruce Robin, uncle of Aaron Robin, great-uncle of Maddie and Sam Robin, and Coralie Koznowski, wife of Nathan Koznowski, mother of Rabbi Andrea Koznowski and Jamie Heisler, grandmother of Jacob, Jared, and Joseph Koznowski. We will continue with the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Please rise. Before we start the Kaddish, if there's anybody else has a name that they would like to add to the list that was not named, please say so when my hand follows along the sanctuary. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah ve'olma divrach yerutei imnikmal chutei v'chayon v'yomechon uv'chayed chal beit Yisrael ba'golah v'zman koriv v'imru amen ba'ayilin shmei rabbah v'rach le'olam omei omaya Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitmamam v'yitnaseh V'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shmei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol barachata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiram b'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mrama, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May their memories be for a blessing. You may be seated. We will close tonight. Our closing song tonight is Oz Arua, found on page 343. We will now do our Hamotzi and Kiddush, so when we go into the sanctuary, everybody can just eat freely. I just have a little challah today. It's a very challah.
You don't get any, it's just for us.
I guess when lay people, lead the service, you get small challah. All right. We'll join together. Oh, wait, you know what? I'm goofed. We're going to do
Oh, yeah,
Kiddush
should do the
first.
Kiddush first, of course.
Oh, well. I almost made it through the service.
You're doing
All right.
fine. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsha, v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zicharon l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikrae kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabat. Amen. L'chaim.
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 And now our Hamotzi.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'tei avon.
As we conclude our service tonight, I want to thank everybody who participated. Again, thank Terry for the music and the support, and welcome everybody who is here tonight. May we all go in peace and have a good weekend. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Oh, thank you. Just have a little bit there. Good job, Rachel.
Thank you.
You
I
for.
made it through.
Oh, yeah, me too.